Are you just done with people? Are people just frustrating you like crazy to the point where you're just like, get away from me? I don't want to deal with this. It's a growing sentiment I'm seeing, not only in the groups that I'm a part of, but here on YouTube, I'm seeing a lot of videos pop up about this idea of just getting away and not having to deal with other people. And if you look at the world we're in, we are so fractured. It is super difficult anymore to find some people that you agree with in common. Used to be we had common interests and we had things we could connect on. But now politics, particularly here in the US, has invaded so much that it's virtually impossible to fully connect with people because there are all these dimensions of disagreement. Even within people who might have the same political based beliefs, you'll find that they disagree on this policy or that policy, and really underlying why we are existing as humans, right? You are starting to feel this frustration point, and many people are seeing the people who just complain about everything out there in these groups. In my local community, I watch people post about helping a dog or finding a credit card somewhere or doing any one of a number of things to try to help other people, and then they become an object of ridicule. Everybody suddenly has their opinions. For instance, a few weeks ago, somebody found a cat, and then immediately people are posting about, well, you better take the cat to a vet, you better get it checked for this and checked for that. Nobody can just say, wow, somebody helped save a poor, unfortunate animal. They need now to start jumping in with their opinions on how to micromanage that relationship. And I think many of us have seen this with friends. We meet people, we go out, we be social, and then suddenly we get a little bit farther along and they start expressing their opinions and pushing things on us. Please let me know in the comments if you had this experience. Tell me your stories. I'd like to collect up some of these stories and ideas of what's happening out there so we can talk more about this. And so what I'm seeing is a lot of people are just like, hey, I just don't want to deal with people. There's too many scammers, there's too many fake people. There are people who have, deep issues with their personality and they just can't connect to others. And then people who would normally be out there making friends, building friendships, connecting are seeing more and more difficulties. Myself, I've had periods where I've made lots of friends and I still go through those periods, but then I have some times where I go out and I start meeting new people and I watch this day and age we are now where so many people have become so expressive about everything. The idea of having different political beliefs, different private beliefs, being friends around one sphere, and then going back to your world and doing things your way seems like it's more and more of an outdated notion. Now, more and more people want to be all up in everything. And I get it. You want to trust the people that are around you, particularly in this uncertain world that we're in, right? We have so much changing. You definitely want to cling to people that are allies and build friendships and really connect deeply with people. But it's so hard to find people you connect with on all the dimensions because there's so many different micro levels of analysis nowadays. And with all the stories going around and the different belief systems, do you trust these institutions? Do you not trust these institutions? Which institutions do you trust? Which institutions do you not trust? Do you stand up and push back against certain policies? Do you cave in? These things can all be dimensions of disagreement. And it doesn't take going down the chart very far. If you start asking 10, 15, 20, 25 questions that can be fundamental to your beliefs on how the world should be and what the world you want to exist in, if you get down 25 of those things with somebody, you're going to very quickly find that you're not going to agree on all 25. And I think in the past, and from my experience, in my 40 plus years on this planet, if you go back in time, you'll see that we probably didn't have that level of connection with people, but it didn't matter as much, right? We were overlapping on the things we were overlapping. We had our separate worlds, and we didn't have to agree on everything. We could work together on projects. We could do things together. We could build things, even if we didn't agree on everything. It was okay to have that private sphere where we were different, right? We would go home and we would not have to be agreeing with our coworkers on everything. we would have our neighbors, but we'd be at the office and we wouldn't be interacting with them as much. But nowadays, with more people working from home, connecting more in the local neighborhood, having that kind of in-your-face interaction more often, it's becoming very difficult to connect. And I'm seeing a lot of people just say, get me out of this. I don't want to deal with it, right? People are posting videos about being in solitude, not dealing with other people, the frustrations of dealing with people, how they've been disappointed by other people. All these things together leading people to say, hey, I really just don't want to be part of this anymore. I'd really love to hear what you think about it. And for me, I'm certainly being very careful and studied about my friendships as I move forward, right? What I've learned from this is you have to be careful who you bring in your world, because there are so many areas of disagreement that somebody could be a friend, but they could let you down, or somebody could be somebody you think you trust, but yet they don't want to go the same direction you want to do, right? So it does become very frustrating, and it becomes almost like you want to be very careful about who's around you. Would like to hear your thoughts on that. What are you doing about this to manage this? And I'd really like to collect some thoughts here on the channel, bring it together, and maybe we can all discuss this more. Let me know. Drop some comments below. Check out our other videos if you're interested in the future of business, and consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for tuning in, folks.